Hello and welcome back to the JW Thoughts channel. My name is Wally and today we have an absolutely hilarious development. As most of you guys will have known, 2 new governing body members were appointed a couple days ago, and the ex-Jehovah's Witness community has all been talking about it. And if you guys watched my video, I even put together a compilation of the faces of the leaders of Watchtower, and diversity was pretty much non-existent. Now, within hours of that video going up, we got this.
Oh, no, 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 no.
That's right, my fellow apostates. Watchtower is starting to listen to us. So, everybody say hi! Alright, so let's take a quick look at this article and see what it has to say. Is racial equality only a dream? What does the Bible say? For many people, racial equality remains an unfulfilled dream. Racism continues to poison institutions and social structures in everyday life and every society. It continues to be a driver of persistent inequality, states the UN Secretary General. Will racial equality ever be realized? What does the Bible say? God's view of racial equality. The Bible teaches us how God views people of different races. Acts 17:26, God made out of one man every nation to dwell on the entire surface of the ground. Acts 10, God is not partial. The Bible reveals that all humans are related and that God accepts people of every race. So, first off, whenever they're talking about the Bible, are they forgetting, the entirety of the Hebrew scriptures, the Old Testament, where God has a special people? He chooses a singular group, a race, and says, you are my special people, my special property. I will go to war for you. I will kill other people because they're not of your race. I mean, surely, when we're discussing the Bible, we at least have to, on some level, acknowledge the blatant racism that does exist in the Old Testament. Now, if people want to say, oh, well, no, it's the Old Testament, that's the old way. Okay, fine, but that means that this God of Jehovah's Witnesses, at some point in time, was completely okay with these examples or these overt examples of racism. And to me, that's kind of problematic. I mean, sure, maybe people change, but we're talking about a God that says he does not change, that he's eternal, that he is the same tomorrow as he is today, is the same as he was in the past. It creates a lot of different problems when you sort of bring this argument up. Now, let's continue. How racial equality will be realized. Equality will be realized by God's kingdom, a heavenly government. That government will teach people how to treat others in the right way. People will learn how to overcome any feelings of racism they may have. Just for giggles, let us take a look at how Watchtower portrays this heavenly government, this kingdom in the heaven. When Watchtower closes its eyes and sees this heavenly kingdom, what do they picture and what sort of imagery do they use in order to convey that to the rest of Jehovah's Witnesses?
Oh, there's a big surprise! That's an incredible... I think I'm gonna have a heart attack and die from that surprise!
Yes, you can't make this stuff up. Watchtower in this article talking about, I think in response to the exjw community all talking about the lack of diversity within those ruling the Watchtower organization, their response to that is to say, look, God's kingdom in heaven is going to fix this. And how do they depict God's kingdom in heaven? White guys with beards. I swear you can't make this stuff up. Watchtower says, white guys with beards will teach you how to no longer be a racist. It's just so ridiculous. Now, going back to that, as we all know, imagery is extremely powerful. And so my brain sort of questions like, well, why do they picture angels ruling over the earth in this very particular way? And I found a fascinating, was it a questions from readers? It was a cover subject. I think, it was a Watchtower article that talked about the truth about angels. And in there, it said this: although angels are presented in the Bible as males and have always materialized as males, there is no male or female distinction among them. They do not marry or reproduce their own kind. Moreover, angels did not first come into existence as humans on earth, whether as babies, children, or adults. Angels were created by Jehovah, thus the Bible calls them sons of the true God. So they acknowledge that there's no male or female, they're a spirit creature. So we can't know exactly, they don't look like us. So then you could portray them as literally anyone. You could have a fully diverse group of angels that you're picturing. And if the thought process is, well, we're just trying to use relatable imagery, I mean, obviously this is what people think of when they think of angels. Is it, though? Is that what we really want to do? Is that very, progressive or having an open mind? Or is this just what people from the early 1900s would have thought of angels, and they're just continuing on this tradition to this very day? It's very archaic whenever you take a step back and really think about it, because there's nothing preventing Watchtower from having a fully diverse group of people of all sorts of skin tones, and it could be women and it could be men. There's nothing preventing them from doing that. So why don't they? Well, it might be the exact same reason why the people that rule Watchtower look like this. Imagery says a lot. And I think whenever we put on screen all of their faces together, it is extremely telling about Watchtower and how they are sort of a racist American doomsday cult. And if they want to clamor on about equality and how they're an international brotherhood, well, then why isn't that represented in the leadership or in some of this imagery? If you're trying to be representative, the people that are ruling and controlling the organization, they're only representing a tiny minority of actual witnesses. Darth Magog, I don't know if you guys know about his channel, but go check it out. He left a comment on the last video, and it said this, which I found to be quite interesting. They said, a racial and gender breakdown of JWs: 36% white, 32% Latino, 27% black, 6% other races or other mixed, 65% female, and 35% male. Leadership composition: 90% white men, 10% black men, 0% women, as we already know. Source: the Pew Research. Certainly not a man-made, American-centric organization, clearly from God. I couldn't agree more. This is obviously evidence that this is an international organization that's being run by God, and God with the infinite wisdom that he has, because he could just rule things himself, but as Watchtower claims, he uses men because they're going to be more relatable to the problems and struggles of the everyday people. And so what Watchtower wants to really hammer home is that they understand the trials and the struggles of American white men. That's... God wanted to make sure that he represented his entire organization by, giving you relatable leaders that know your pain. And who better knows your pain than balding American white dudes? Boy howdy, this was one of the funniest things. My jaw actually dropped when I went on the homepage and I saw this. I thought, wow, what an actual total bozo move by Watchtower. But I can't get enough of it. I would rather have them produce things like this than have like the best steak dinner cooked by Gordon Ramsay himself. This is absolutely delicious to me. Now, with all of that being said, I think one of the big takeaways that we can draw from this is Watchtower is paying attention, and we need to keep the pressure up. We need to keep talking as much as possible, because the more attention the exjw community can get, the more awareness that we can get with just people that have never been Jehovah's Witnesses or even in the media, it's going to make a difference, because Watchtower will either have to crumble and fall apart or change their harmful practices. And ultimately, I think most of us, that's our goal, is that, if Jehovah's Witnesses want to continue to exist as a religion, that's fine. But the harmful practices need to stop, and they stop with us. So keep it up, you good apostates. We've done a good job, and let's just keep the conversation going. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're still around, don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time.